Hello and welcome to this Dbvisit Replicate demonstration. Dbvisit Replicate is a real-time Oracle replication tool using efficient redo log-based change data capture to replicate data. In this demo we're going to install Replicate using the wizard. We're going to replicate some data and we're going to create some new tables that are automatically replicated. So on the source server we've got Oracle on Linux, and on our target server we've got Oracle on Windows. Replicate on Linux is installed using the standard RPM tools, and then Dbvisit Replicate can just be started with the dbvrep command. And this starts the Dbvisit Replicate command console. And then setup wizard can be typed to start the configuration wizard. Now a name has to be chosen for this particular replication, and we're going to call this W112A. And then as you can see, a lot of the defaults are already set and we just need to press enter to accept those. Now we need to specify what our source database is, and that is dbvisit 51_w112a. That's the TNS alias. And give it some username passwords, and also what the target database is, the TNS name alias. So that's win_w112b. And we're going to accept all the defaults as we go along. So we just keep pressing enter, accept all the defaults. Here we specify the mine listen interface, and that's a source server name and then the port number. So Dbvisit 517890, and the target's server is Win 2008-01 and port number 7891. It asks for a TNS names admin, and it's picked up a couple there. We just specify the default one. In this case, our source server uses ASM, so we have to specify the ASM instance and the actual Oracle home. Again, we just keep hitting all the defaults, where the plog files are kept, and where the apply staging there, where the plog files are copied to. So again, we enter all the defaults, the log file, hitting the defaults, and now we enter what schema names we want to replicate. So in this case, we're going to enter AVI, and we want to replicate the scope.avi object. So one table name and a schema name. So that really comes to the end of the Dbvisit Replicate wizard. We've now completed it. We can exit and jump onto the Windows box, our target server, where there's a Windows installation, and we'll just double click on the installation to install the Dbvisit Replicate software on Windows. We'll just pick a different location. Instead of program files 38 or x86, and we'll install it into the 64-bit location. So now Dbvisit Replicate is installed on Windows, and we'll jump back to our Linux box here, our target server, and just to show you the DDC file, W1182 DDC, that contains all the configuration settings for the actual replication, and we'll just run the w112a.all script, and that sets up the complete replication for the source and target server. So now it's creating the replication dictionary, loading the dictionary tables, and setting up the mine and apply engines, and preparing our tables for replication. And now it's asking us to run Dbvisit Replicate on the target server, our Windows server. Again, we should by now have copied over that w112a.ddc. You have to do that manually, and we can just start the dbvrep command on Windows and start the apply. Actually, first we need to read that DDC file, so we type in read ddc w112a.ddc. Again, you have to copy this manually over to the target server, and just type start apply to start the apply process. And we just hit return on the source server to start the Dbvisit Replicate mine process on the source server. So the whole process is initializing. It's starting in the background, but it's also starting the Replicate console here. And as you can see on the top, the mine is running, but it's still initializing, and the apply is running. We can type in list progress all just to get a feeling of how the initialization is going, so we can see that it's mining, but there's nothing happening on the apply side yet. So this is where the Dbvisit Replicate internal dictionary is replicated to the target server. So the initialization is still not complete. We can do another list progress all, and we can see that it's at 7%. There are some records being applied. So we just let it wait for a little bit to give us the message that the initialization is complete. So we'll try again a few times. It's as you can see, it's progressing, and now it's at 100% complete. So our initialization of the replication is complete, and now we can start replicating our own tables. Before we do that, we'll just, as an example, just show you how the DDC file works. It's an ASCII file. We can just update it. We can set the status bar to status plus list, and that'll give us a real-time progress of the replication that is happening. And as the part of the demo, we'll run a quick test just to insert some data. So you can see that the source is on Linux, and the target is on Microsoft Windows, and we'll just insert some records. So this is a copy of the dba_objects table, and we'll insert, so as you can see, that both are 0 and 0. So we'll insert 2000 records into the source. The target is 0, and we'll just wait 8 seconds for Replicate to catch up. And you can see that both source and target are at 2000. So Replicate is caught up. We'll run that test again. There we go, source and target is 2000. We'll insert another 2000. There we go, 4000 and 2000. We'll sleep for 8 seconds for Replicate to catch up, and hopefully in those 8 seconds it'll be 4000 and 4000. There we go, it's completely caught up. As you can see here on the Replicate command console, we can see what's happening. So what we'll do now, to make it a little bit more interesting, we'll insert a whole bunch of more records. So we'll insert 20,000 records into our source table, and we'll just watch real time what happens on our Replicate console. So there we go, we can see that mine is mining those processes, not yet at 100%, but there we go, it's mined everything, all the records been mined. Now it's just transferring them over to apply, and we can see that the apply is very busy applying those records. So there it is at 100%. It's inserted those 20,000 records. So very, very impressive. And the other nice thing that Replicate does is we can create some new tables. So we'll create a new table, insert some records, because as we said, we replicate the whole schema. So there we go, there it is, the new table has been created and it's been replicated as we speak. So there it is, 100%, 5 tables, 5 records have been replicated to the source. So we'll try that again with another table and watch it real live. So there it is, there it pops up onto the Replicate console, and then we can see AVI test 3 has been replicated. There's some whole bunch of commands you can run. You can type in help to show all the commands, but one of them is, for example, health check command, and it just shows you the health check of the whole process. So that's really the end of our demonstration of Dbvisit Replicate. Please download and give it a try. As you can see, it's very, very easy to set up, but we're here to help as much as possible if you have any issues or any questions. So thank you very much.